What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video we'll be talking about Zcash. It is the 9th day of December, and here we are sitting at about $443 with 7 hours and 8 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. So, to my surprise, we have actually pushed above this high. To my surprise, we actually have. I was not anticipating prices that would come up this high. A little bit of a pump yesterday, sure, but we were expecting this to come back down. The fact that we're up here is a bit interesting, and we don't have a lot of volume. It's not above the average levels of volume, but it is more than what we saw, prior to September before this pump really kicked off. So it is decent volume. I mean, again, comparing this volume here to what we've seen here, not really. It's not that big. But compared to what it was back here, okay, yeah, it's actually kind of nice volume. We have 7 hours left here, and you're moving up. I'm still not completely sold on this move, and I'm reluctantly, I don't know what. I'm reluctant to be bullish here. I'm definitely not bullish at the moment. From a high to a low, we are above the 382. If we can close today in the next 7 hours, 7 minutes, if we can close today above $424, above this 382, I will have no choice but to be bullish. Okay. At that point in time, we are considering prices that are all the way up at 522 to 560, and that doesn't mean, just because we flip bullish doesn't mean that we are bullish to new highs, but at least to this golden ratio zone, and then we can reevaluate from there. If we come back down by the end of the day and we close below $424.47, that likely is a signal that we are at a relative high, and we might very well take out this low. Or relative high and we find a higher low at the 236. It's very common to go from this area down to the 236 for support and then up. However, you've already been at this area, you've already come down, you don't need to go lower. So again, a close above this 382 to me would signal that we are moving up to the golden ratio. Close above $424 and I will wave the white flag, I will admit defeat. Until then, I'm keeping my bearish posturing. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and then we'll see if that's vindicated or not. So here, you're moving higher for a time and you did not have volume, but then like the hour after I made that video, you actually had some nice volume come in and then it continued to come in actually as time went on, as you progressed higher. Here there's less volume as you're moving higher. Now, it is less volume here compared to what it was back here, but the volume is increasing as you're breaking out of this zone. So I think that volume is good. That looks good enough. Looking at the 1 hour indicators, the RSI, rejecting the overbought zone but finding support at the 60, that's a good look. Honestly, that's a good looking RSI. At this point in time, it's a good look. I did not imagine we get into the overbought zone, or at least this deep into it, this consistent into it, but it looks bullish. We came back, we found support at the 50, and you rejected the overbought zone here, but you found support at the 60. Time to move up. Probably. You could find resistance here. If you close this candle red and you get a double top rejecting the overbought zone, that would likely promote lower prices. So in the next 5 minutes, probably by the time this video is done, we'll know. But this hour is the 16th hour of the day. You can see down here, right? It tells you what time it is. This is the 16th hour of today, the 9th. So if you want to reference that, if this hour closes red, I would imagine that we probably pull back from here. Okay. If it closes green, well, you're probably going to continue. But you got 5 minutes to decide. Bitcoin's moving up, having a hell of a time. I don't know why you're not. Come on, Bitcoin's moving up this hour. It's doing really good. Why aren't you? You should be getting a lick here. The MACD looks good. The stochastics look good. I have no problems on the 1 hour time frame. The only problem I have is, again, if you close this red, you get a double top here, and that would likely send you lower, right? And that would likely, again, you have 7 hours left in this day, likely you'd have a pretty solid chance if this candle closes red. I know it sounds kind of silly, but a double rejection off the overboughts on a double top in the RSI, don't mess with that, man. You had a double top here, and it wasn't even at the overbought zone, and that sent you to some consolidation. I'm not saying that double topping here means we have to go all the way to zero, but it might put you in a situation where you do close below 424, and at that rate, we maintain our bearish posturing, right? If you want to invalidate me, if you want me to wave the white flag of bearish surrender, you got to close above 424 today. The 4 hour time frame here, stochastics look bullish, but you're about to cross down. RSI is bullish. Let's see. You haven't been up here in a while. You don't typically go above this point here, right? Most of your points in the RSI, they stop right here or below, lesser so above. I'm imagining that we're at a point to find resistance, being that we are getting just above this high, not a lot of volumes coming in. Now, you should be getting some volume here, not a lot of volumes coming in. Relative to the 1 hour, sure, it looks all right, but to the 4 hour, it doesn't look as good. And you're at a point where you could find resistance here at prior support and prior support there. Your RSI is at the point where it typically rejects. Your stochastics are overbought and they look good, but this is also the point where you typically turn around. And then the MACD did just cross above the zero, which I didn't think would happen, but here it is, cross above the zero. And even then, still, typically, whenever the MACD crosses above the zero, you do consolidate for about a day and a half or 3 days before moving higher. So there are some bullish things, there are some bearish things, but there are some implications that suggest that immediately from here, 441, we probably do move down today, just depending on how these coming hours go. Well, when I say move down, I just mean move down from here. We'll probably close below. I would assume we close below 424. I would assume we do. RSI is right at the 50. Stochastics are right at the 50. Oh, yeah. I think this is going to set up for a harsh rejection, guys. I think so. I think we're in the middle of an ABC correction overall. I think that's what we're in for. Let me see. It's perfect. It can't be more perfect. It literally can't be more perfect. ABC correction calling for move all the way down to 188, which is coincidentally very, very near our 382 target right there at 171. I very much do believe in this target still, but I'm open to change. I'm open to change that perspective if we close today above the 382. Now understand, today if we close above $424.47, if we close above there today, that doesn't mean that we won't go lower. It just means that we'll go up to the golden ratio. From there you can reject and you can go lower, okay? But there's also the chance, closing above the 382, the chance goes up that this is the low, and that you will build constructively from here and see new highs. So it'll call for some restructuring of our thought process on Zcash should we close above 424.47 today. We have a minute and a half left in this hour. It looks like it is going to close red. Anything can happen in a minute and a half. We can definitely move up, but I think it is going to close red. And with that, I'm pretty confident in my decision here that we will not close above the 382 above today. We have 7 hours left. This is calling for an immediate kind of pullback, an immediate rejection. That doesn't mean that we drop through the floor in 1 hour, but if we have 7 hours left in the day, certainly I think by the end of today we could definitely pull back below this level. It's very common to wick above the 382 and close below it, even when you're working your way up. And I want to be specific here too. A close today below the 382 does not vindicate that we go lower. We're still in a hot seat. If you're a bear like me, if you think that the price is going to go down to this 190, 170 area like I do, we're still in the hot seat. There's still a chance that you could come down to the 236, find support. I'll tell you what, if you come back from here, you're at 437, you're already moving down. I mean, we got 35 seconds left. It's looking like this 1 hour is going to close red. See, I think that's a signal. That's a signal we're probably not going to close above the 382 today. But it's very common to go to the 236 and then up. So if we find from here, if we go down to 372 and we come back up to 424, we don't even have to close above it. At that point, I would become bullish. At that point, I'd become bullish to the golden ratio, and then we can reevaluate from there, right? But finding support of the 236 would be very, very detrimental to the bears and very, very advantageous to the bulls. So 372, if that holds a support from here specifically, and it's a very technical process here. It has to be this way. You have to find support here. You have to come back up. If you do both those things, I would be very bullish. I would be. I would even start to consider this as the low. You can find support at this line 372, and you're at 364. That's still support. It doesn't have to be directly at this line. I will be celebrating to the downside that we are moving down lower, that the bears are right, that the call that we've had is vindicated once we close a day below 342. So we're at 438. We could drop $100 from here, and I still wouldn't be celebrating that I was right or like feel vindicated that the call to the downside was right until we close below this daily low close here at 342. I've got nothing else to say. It's important to keep your wits about, but I am calling for a high here. I was calling for the high yesterday, but we moved up a little bit more. Whatever, we're calling for the high here, and likely this move will take us below $200. That's the expectation. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.